Seriously, don't talk if you go to see this movie. People already don't like people that talk through movies, and in a movie like A Quiet Place where there's hardly any dialogue, if you talk during that, you're an asshole. Hi everybody, Anthony here from Monster Anthony Productions, and today I'm going to give you my review of the latest outing for the Quiet Place franchise, a prequel, Quiet Place Day 1. But before we get started, you know exactly what to do. At the end of the video, if you think I've earned it, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss any of my new reviews. Now let's get into it. During the first two A Quiet Place movies, we picked up about 400 days after the arrival of those terrifying aliens that hunt things based on sound, though the intro of the second movie gives us just a little bit of a glimpse of the first day when they arrive. This prequel takes us all the way back to that first day, introducing Lupita Nyong'o's Samira, a terminal cancer patient living in a terminal ward with an adorable cat named Frodo. In the beginning, Sam takes a trip into the city with the rest of her group to see a marionette show, but she fully intends on getting a good slice of New York City pizza before they head back. But right as they go to leave, the meteors hit and all hell breaks loose, forcing Sam and Frodo into an unlikely companionship with an English law student, Eric, played by Joseph Quinn, Eddie from Stranger Things.
You want something, freak?
Who agrees to go with her to get some pizza before trying to get to the rescue boats and get to safety. I've been a big fan of this franchise since it first came out in 2018. They're not the scariest horror movies out there, mostly just using the creatures to build up tension and rely on some admittedly pretty good jump scares. And those do tend to work in the movie's favor, but what really sets us apart is the great character work and emotional core that they all have.
It's enough to make a grown man cry.
Especially with the first two and how they focus on the family dynamic at the center. This one, thankfully, is no different, with three leads, one of which being a terminal cancer patient, like I said earlier, who just wants some damn pizza, the other being an anxiety-ridden, lonely guy that just wants to survive, and the third one being a smart, resourceful, and loyal cat that any animal lover would risk their lives to save.
If anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
This takes this blockbuster apocalyptic scenario and really humanizes it and brings it down to earth with some incredibly high stakes considering this is a pretty short hour-and-a-half runtime, just like the last two. And if Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn weren't as talented as they were, this wouldn't work half as well.
Obviously, they're pretty good.
With a movie like this that has very little dialogue outside of the first 15 to 20 minutes, these two act so well and say so much to each other through just their eyes and facial expressions. And when they do get a chance to talk or whisper to each other thanks to a loud thunderstorm or the sounds of a burning fire, it's full of raw, genuine emotion and some pretty good attempts at exposition and explaining character backstories that don't feel clunky, which is very rare. All the character stuff here ultimately just works. I fully rooted for both of these characters, feeling intense tension for them during certain scenes, getting a surprising amount of laughs and chuckles from this movie that I really didn't expect, and even ending up in tears. Who am I kidding? I was bawling.
Keep it together, man!
By the end with where their character journeys go, especially Samira's. For a prequel to an already established horror franchise, this could have easily just been phoned in, giving us two characters that we couldn't care less about and just focusing on big, overblown set pieces. But no, we get that great character work and emotional core that this franchise is known for, along with the great set pieces that everyone wanted from a film like this that takes place in New York City. Not only does it come up with new and inventive ways to show the creatures causing devastation, but we get to learn a little bit more about them and what drives them. And this film is a masterclass in building tension.
I'm just saying, we're all so tense.
And in movies like these ones, where the smallest noise can end a character in seconds, it's not too hard to see why. The last things I want to praise here are the direction, the editing, and the score. Michael Saransky's direction paired with the cinematography here makes this a very effective and immersive viewing experience, giving these aliens and their arrival the weight, scale, and tension they deserve, while always finding some kind of claustrophobic way to frame the characters and the action, especially when it comes to Sam. The editing also does a very good job helping this feel evenly paced and taking advantage of that hour-and-a-half runtime, while also really making effective use of those jump scares. And the score by Alexis Grapsis is great here too, adding tension, emotion, and pulse-pounding excitement throughout different parts of the film. Oh, and the sound mixing. I'm not going to get into it because that could be a whole video on its own, but the sound of these films is just immaculate.
Perfection.
And it really goes a long way at building the world and the tension here. Now for complaints. My initial complaint while watching like the first half of the film is like, what is with this chick? Doesn't she care about surviving? Why does she want pizza so damn bad? But as the film goes on and we start to understand the significance of that pizza for Samira, I balled that complaint up and tossed it in the trash where it belongs. However, I did have one small complaint of a similar nature, and that's regarding the cat, Frodo.
What about it?
I love seeing him on screen and how he interacts with the leads and helps to drive the story along with the fact that this cat's pretty smart and doesn't make any noises. But at a certain point, it was kind of annoying with how much they kept risking their lives to save him, when it's clearly shown throughout the first 2 acts that he can hold his own. And when you already know that, though I get it as an animal lover, seeing Eric struggle to climb a construction beam and grab Frodo while basically being damn near surrounded by those aliens just felt kind of dumb. My second and only other complaint here is that though a lot of them are effective, this movie does rely a little too heavily on jump scares, just like the last 2. Overall, this is a very tense, horror-light film with blockbuster set pieces complemented by great performances, awesome production values, and a very strong emotional core. And that's my review of A Quiet Place Day 1. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this review, you know exactly what to do. I said it earlier. Please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss any of my new reviews. While you're at it, you can scroll down in the description below, find the links to my socials, leave a comment, let me know if you saw this movie and what you thought. And if you want more of my content, you can click or tap on these cards right here. It'll take you to my review of The Exorcism, or just over to my channel where you can check out the rest of my reviews and my shorts. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time for my review of Kinds of Kindness.